The meaning of the movie. Author Orpheus to read for minutes, published on 26.09. 2020, updated on 26.09. 2020. The events unfold in a surreal, free city. Hundreds of years here rules the dragon, a beast-eater in human form, a military overcoat, a ridiculous helmet, a disfigured face. The three heads of the bloodthirsty reptile symbolize the controlling forces of the totalitarian militarized state, armies, secret police, bureaucracy. The townspeople are used to the tyrant's atrocities, they tolerate injustice and humiliation, and every year they give him the most beautiful virgin as a wife. The people are satisfied with everything, as the story of the scientist Friedrichsen and his family proves. But here comes a hero, the traveling knight without fear and reproach, Lancelot. He is ready to fight the dictator and openly challenges him to a duel. However, no one is happy about it. Everyone hates the dragon, and at the same time is ready to work for the system, voluntarily, sincerely. The best people of the city, led by the burgomaster, persuade the hero not to break the usual way of life, demanding to leave the country. Lancelot does not realize that to go to death for the sake of freedom of people who do not need it is not worth it. But he is adamant in his decision, and in the end he defeats the dragon. Lancelot withdraws, leaving the people freed from dictatorship to be free. The movie, however, instead of an optimistic ending, is full of dystopia. Nothing changes. Chaos reigns in the city, pogroms, looting, robbery. Taking advantage of the confusion, the burgomaster, the former right hand of the dragon, becomes the new ruler. If you overthrow one dictator, he will be replaced by another, with new heads, in a different guise. What is the use of fighting for the freedom of those who are not able to use it properly? The dragon is not in the outside world, but in people's heads. To kill a dragon means not to destroy it, but to cope with the dragons inside ourselves. The movie has a different meaning. The play by E. Schwartz wrote the play in 1944. The screen adaptation was made by director M. Zakharov in 1988. The movie is close to the dramaturgical source both in conception and plot development. But in general, the fairy tale parable about a hero and a tyrant turned into a satirical pamphlet and acquired a different meaning. The phantasmagoric shell of the narrative contains deep political and social dramas of the Russian society of 1930 to 1980. There are hidden allegories everywhere. The three-headed reptile is the triumvirate of World War II, Germany, Italy, Japan. The smoking pipe presented as a gift to the many-faced tyrant is an allusion to Stalin's cult of personality. The analogy with Brezhnev's times is in the distribution of awards in the form of rattling orders. The gloomy and ominous atmosphere in the city is a precursor to perestroika and the dashing 1990s. In the movie, To Kill a Dragon, a deep subtext, the development of themes of dictatorship, slave psychology, duplicity of civil position. In the screen adaptation, the ending is changed. The plot is based on an ancient Eastern legend. It says that only a young man with a brave heart and pure thoughts can free the villagers, who are terrorized by a dragon. But the one who kills him becomes a dragon himself. Development of the theme of the winner turning into a tyrant. In the script of the play, Lancelot, realizing that the freedom granted to the inhabitants of the town is of no use to them, turns to his like-minded friends for help. He explains to them that there is a painstaking and delicate, or worse than embroidery, work to be done together in order to teach everyone to defeat the dragon in their heads. In the movie, Lancelot is different. After a year, he returns to a city steeped in darkness and repression to defeat the dragon in each of its inhabitants. The hero is so obsessed with the idea of destroying the dragon in people that he has even forgotten how to smile. But hasn't the dragon already settled in him? After all, he despises and scolds the townspeople for their inability to think and decide, and wants to force them to be free. The screenwriter and director of the movie radically changed the ending of the story written by the playwright. To Lancelot comes the realization that his fervent appeals to the people are futile. The current generation cannot be re-educated in the spirit of freedom, only a new one can be nurtured. His eyes turn to the children who are flying a kite on the coast. But what does he see? Next to them is a sinister and hypocritical dark figure. It's the dragon. The villain from the screen declares to the viewer that it is not the end yet, the most interesting thing is just beginning. The meaning of the picture is as follows: it is easier to defeat the three-headed beast men alone than to banish it from human hearts. Freedom from dictates is meaningless if the dragon has taken up residence in people's minds. In fact, the authors interpret two philosophical maxims with the help of grotesque and eccentricity. Freedom is a realized necessity, and it is impossible to make a man happy against his will. For modern viewers, the relevance of the movie, To Kill a Dragon, is also in the fact that it leads to reflections on the future of any social and political system. What will become of children, if you bring them up by draconian methods? How to raise the younger generation, so that later on they would not have to kill the dragons that had taken refuge in the open children as souls? In one of the episodes we see children playing with tiny dragons.